A workshop full of wonders.
I heard the word watch.
Home to experts in time-honoured crafts.
Boom. There you go. That's a good sound.
Together repairing treasured pieces of the past.
Oh, I like that. That is really good.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, look at that.
Quite proud of that.
And unlocking their stories.
I'm completely blown away by this. Oh dear.
Bringing the broken
I don't know where to start with this.
back to life.
Wow.
Stunning.
Oh, fantastic! I think it's just amazing.
Welcome to the Repair Shop.
Hi, Brendan.
Off to see you there with your camouflage on.
I was hiding from you. Thank you.
First up, Heather Evans from Winchester, who is hoping bike aficionado Tim Gunn will be able to restore balance to a tricky mode of transport.
Hi there.
Hiya.
Hello.
Look at this. I don't know why unicycles always make me chuckle. It's very nice. Whereabouts did you get it from?
It was a gift I bought from my late husband when he turned 30. So that was over 30 years ago.
What was your late husband's name?
Perry.
Was Perry really into bikes and unicycles?
He was really into sort of having fun and being an entertainer.
Quite a character then.
Yeah, he was really into getting the best out of life. He liked to try and conquer things, and learning how to ride a unicycle was one of those things. But he was also haemophiliac, so he shouldn't have been doing things like unicycling.
You say haemophiliac. Is that
Yeah.
where your...
It's where your blood doesn't clot properly.
That must have been really risky.
I know, it's an accident waiting to happen. We met through our local church. He'd moved to the area, and I thought he had a really lovely smile. And then on our second date, he said he'd also got something called HIV through infected blood, which I didn't really know much about either then. Some haemophiliacs have to take some blood products, and it turns out they were contaminated with HIV. So he was actually injecting himself with these products. I'd read some leaflets and I said, this is really serious, And he said, yeah, I've been told I've got 2 to 5 years to live.
Oh, my word.
So he got really ill. We thought he was going to die. But then these new drug treatments came out, and within a year he was back at work, which is amazing. But we were also told we'd never have children and we shouldn't have children. Through the hospital, they referred us to a programme, a safe way for us to try to have children. And we were successful. And it was very early on, and we had a son called Isaac. And then our daughter was born. We did not expect to have a second child. She's called Kerry-Ann Rose.
Oh, that's lovely. Am I right in thinking that it wasn't just Perry that was affected?
There were at least 4,000 infected with HIV. Perry died in April 24, and we were married for 36 years. He never wanted the illness to define him. He always wanted to be Perry. He had the attitude of this, you know, the determination that he showed, that he would overcome. It's great to remember him like that. The fact he has actually gone is quite hard to believe because he was so strong for so long. And 18 months after he's gone, what would sum him up? This is it. This is the thing. This captures who Perry was. His sense of fun, sense of challenge.
What happened to it?
Well, as we were moving house and clearing out, it leaned against a wall, it'd fallen over into the road and it got run over.
No. What exactly would you like Tim to do with it?
Well, if this could be straightened out, and obviously the spokes are broken.
It is very broken.
I didn't know if there's something you could do with this because it's got ripped as well.
We'll have a look at it.
Done one before?
I have done a couple of them before. Not one like this. No, I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's a big challenge.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Perry sounded like such an amazing character. He was obviously a joker, and the unicycle is a perfect gift for him. But you know, it's been squashed. So these fork plates need to be straight, otherwise the wheel won't turn. Quite a lot of the spokes have been ripped from the hub, but it'd be really good to try and salvage some of those original spokes. So the seat has a big split down the side of it. So I might see if I can find someone in the barn who can help sort that out. But yeah, it's a very bent unicycle at the moment, and my job is to make it less bent.
Mark, have you always been fixing things?
Well, I've tried as a child, not very successfully.
Let me guess, taking things apart, not quite getting them back together again.
You too.
Exactly.
Here to put Mark's current electrical expertise to the test are Florence, along with her dad Adrian, and family friend Alex. They're entrusting Mark with a classic piece of 80s technology.
It's been a while since I've seen one of these. Goodness me. It's certainly bright, isn't it?
You can't mistake it.
This was my mum's. This was something that was constantly blasting music, playing her favourite tunes.
What was Mum's name?
Mel. She was the wig mistress of Les Miserables.
As in the West End musical?
Yes. Over 25 years she worked for the show.
Mel was the only original cast and crew for probably the last 20 years that she worked there.
She made wigs, she made beards, moustaches, sideburns.
Got any spare?
What a career to have.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So Mel was your mum.
Mm-hmm.
How did you both know her?
I was her colleague right from the first show, one of the hordes that adored her.
I met Mel on my first day. I was a deputy stage manager, and ultimately she became my wife. Then 2 years later, we had Florence. The show itself is a very complex machine, and this is how I got to know my good friend Alex, because he was the crew chief.
Goodness me, so we've got crew chief, stage manager, wig mistress.
Yeah.
We've got half the team here.
Pretty much, yeah.
She was such a character. She had a lot of energy, she was always making me laugh. If ever I had spare time on the weekends, I'd get to sit in the wig room and watch her make wigs and meet the actors.
There's a wig room?
Separate room just for the wigs.
Wow.
In theatre, there's often a lot of waiting around, and where you could always guarantee a cup of tea and a gossip was the wig room.
During the half, which is the 35 minutes before curtains up, that wig room was just a constant traffic of people coming in, sitting down, hair back, pin curls, whack, wig, glue, glue, glue. Right, you're good, go. And this would be the instrument whereby she set the tone of what was happening.
She was a big fan of Michael Jackson, George Michael.
Eurythmics' greatest hits. I have very clear memories of Sweet Dreams blasting out.
Anything sort of like groovy with a bit of a beat to it, she would be dancing, singing away.
I love it.
So may I ask what happened to Mel?
In 2001, she very sadly got a breast cancer diagnosis, and over the next 12 years, she lived with that. She sadly passed away in 2013.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
I'm just so proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of what she achieved, where, you know, in the time that we did have her.
Have you tried to actually use it at the moment?
Yes, I have. It's chewing tapes, the tapes all flying off the cassette itself.
dear.
And if it does get working again, what do you intend to do with it?
Do the exact same thing and blast all of her favourite music and keep her memory alive, because one of the things I can remember from her at home is in the kitchen, cooking, dancing, singing. Like, those are some of my best memories of my mum.
Yeah, a little bit of your mum's still in there,
Exactly,
isn't it?
yeah.
I completely understand how important this is to all of you. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
very much.
Safe journey.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's had a life, hasn't it?
It has had a life, but an amazing one. You imagine what that's heard.
Good luck with it.
Thank you. This is really an interesting cassette player. When this was purchased, I believe late 80s, this was quite a machine to have. What I think I need to do first of all is to open it up and see if I can see what could be causing it chewing up the tapes. I would imagine the drive belts could well be stretched by now. There could be a break in one of the gears. So few possibilities Won't know any of them until I actually get it apart to have a look. So what have we got? This is the main bed where the cassette will sit in. What I need to do is literally undo the main tape mechanism so I can look behind it. Now we can turn this little unit round. Everything seems to be turning as I'd expect it would do. What I need to do is look into it in a bit more detail, just to see if I can establish exactly what I think may be causing the problem here.
Tim's assignment is more clear-cut. Having fully dismantled the mangled unicycle, he now needs to begin the painstaking process of reconstruction.
So I've now got to the point where I'm rebuilding the wheel of Perry's unicycle. I've managed to salvage half of the spokes that were left in the wheel. So I've cleaned them all, I've straightened them all out as best as I can. And I'm going to build one half of the wheel with the original spokes and the other half with brand new spokes. And I'm going to alternate the spokes. It's going to make a nice pretty pattern. The spokes have to go into certain locations into the hub and the holes in the rim. This is what's known as a tangent wheel. So basically the spokes are at a tangent to each other. So the old ones are pulling this way and the new ones are pulling that way. So when it's all tight, it's basically makes it a very, very strong wheel. So with these last few spokes going back in Perry's unicycle wheel, I can see a nice sort of pattern starting to appear. We've got silver and dull and silver and dull. Hello, Susie.
All right.
Yeah, not bad. I'm wondering if you can have a look at this saddle.
Okay.
It's damaged.
Yeah, no, it's massively damaged. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Susie.
So it would be really nice if I could just join these two edges back together, but they're very vulnerable to breaking apart. So the next option is for me to keep the original seat in place, but to make a new cover to go over it. The first thing I need to do is to put some canvas on the inside that I can glue these layers to and hold it firmly in place.
Next into the barn is Keith from Oxford. He's bringing in something contagious that most people would try to avoid.
Hello, come on in.
Thank you very much.
This one-of-a-kind item is a job for man of many talents, David Burville.
Oh, my word. What is this wonder?
Well, it's a model of an adenovirus.
What is an adenovirus then?
It's a virus that infects us with all sorts of different diseases, such as the common cold.
So we all know more about this than we think we do. It relates to everybody.
It does. It's something that my father had made. He was an electron microscopist.
What is an electron microscopist?
It's somebody that uses the electron microscope to image viruses, so it's a huge amount of magnification so that they can understand how they infect us, find cures and ways around the infections.
What was your father's name?
Robin Valentine. He worked at a place called the National Institute of Medical Research, and they studied viruses and developed vaccines. This was the first time in the 60s when my father managed to photograph it, and apparently it was a real kind of eureka moment. He kind of saw the image and went in to his fellow scientist and said, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
Was he the first to discover this?
As I understand it, yes. He'd obviously taken a 2D image of it, but wanted to make a 3D model to try and explain its shape and how it worked.
How impactful was the image that your father took of this virus?
Well, it certainly seemed to capture the imagination of the press. It got into various national newspapers and scientific newspapers, and I think he was seen as a leading electron microscopist in the world. So very exciting times.
Yeah, you must be incredibly proud.
I am incredibly proud, yes.
So can you explain what all of the different parts, the antennas and that sort of thing are?
My understanding is that these are all proteins, and then these fibres have separate proteins on the end of them, and that's what actually attaches themselves to your throat, make you feel unwell.
Wow. So what would you like us to do with it?
Well, it just seems that quite a lot of the polystyrene balls have fallen off. Some of them have got damaged. At the moment, it's sitting on a chest that's at the top of our stairs, and, you know, I just don't want to end up with a big pile of balls underneath it. But, it's obviously something that we're proud of as a family, and bringing it back to life, it would give it another generation of learning and understanding.
Keith, if you're happy to leave this wonderful thing with us, David will do his very best to make it beautiful again.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Many thanks. It's very good.
Really looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. That's incredible.
It
That's
really
incredible.
is.
Well, Keith has bought me just the most interesting thing. I mean, this was such a groundbreaking step forward in ultimately the prevention and treatment of viruses that we know about. Unfortunately, there's quite a few of these polystyrene balls which are missing. I think the first thing I've got to do really is try and find some replacements. Some of them, as you can see, are actually quite loose. In actual fact, that one's fallen off. Anything which is a little bit loose, I'm going to pull off, and then I can re-glue it. Polystyrene's a nice lightweight material. The only downside is that it's very delicate, and I don't want to have to take away anything from the original model. So I think what I'm going to do is see whether I can actually fill the damaged balls. I'm going to give it a nice dust off, and then I can just see what the general condition of the balls are, and actually see how many of them are loose. Quite really is dusty.
Mark has started the process of elimination, trying to fathom what's causing the 80s boombox to chew up tapes.
Now, when I press play, we've got this move in here. If you imagine the tape is in the mechanism, then it will go from here, pulled across the head, over the pinch wheel, and then that will come here to the driving wheel, which is meant to be rotating freely. In fact, it's just rather stiff. What does look noticeable is the drive belts themselves seem particularly weak. Now, if that's pretty poor, it's not going to be able to actually rotate some of these wheels which drive the tape mechanism. So what I propose to do is just change the belt, and then I can then at least eliminate those. What I've got to do now is to literally take the cover off where all the gearing and the belts are. That's the first belt, and that comes off. The belts I'm using here are new enough for me to be able to at least try this and to see how this goes. That's it. The belt's now fitted. Press the play button. The belts are driving really well now. I'm happy with that. If I now just turn it over for a minute, that's still not rotating round. There's definitely a problem I've got to sort out. This drive here, that is the key to this issue. I need to strip this out and examine why this is having a problem.
Susie's saddle repair is proving less problematic.
So I've glued the split together and I've gone ahead, made a new cover to put over the old seat. So I'm just putting the final couple of stitches in. What I've used is a similar type of vinyl, very hard wearing, and it looks gorgeous. Key is, does it fit? This is a moment of truth. It's great. This fits absolutely beautifully. Now I need to just staple it into position so that it's nice and tidy and I can give it back to Tim.
I've stripped part of this down, and this is actually a clutch here which drives the two main principal wheels, which makes the tape pull through the machine. This here should rotate, and it isn't. And this clutch mechanism, due to age, is seized up a bit. You've got a spring which is creating tension. There's another one underneath, and that should move freely, but it's actually sort of a bit stuck. Now, what I'm going to try is to put some penetrating oil into this shaft here. There we go, a little bit in there. And that should be able to get in, and then the clutch should move more easily, and it should then be able to pull the tape through the machine. Let's just get this to go in. Right, okay, now what I'm going to do, put this on. Now locate this part. I'll press the play button. And you can actually see that this now is rotating quite well. It's actually got a good grip and it's rotating. I've got a spare cassette. I'm going to plug it in here, press play, and then you can see that now it is actually doing exactly what it should be doing. So I'm really happy the way that now seems to be working. But of course, until I put it all together, I won't really know if it's going to actually deliver any sound.
With the unicycle wheel now true, it's time for Tim to set the rest of the cycle straight.
So now that I've rebuilt the wheel, I'm turning my attention to the forks. They're just so badly bent, which means that any wheel that's in the forks basically isn't going to turn. So this bit here needs to be straight, and the whole wheel can be pushed over and in line with the forks. So my task is now to heat them up and get them straight.
I need a very high temperature flame to basically get this material as hot as possible so as I can then straighten it. So it's starting to go cherry red, so I need to gently apply pressure on the end. And it's slowly coming round to be straight again. I'm really pleased with the way that that's come out. It's a long process of working my way up the fork blade now to get them all straight.
That's actually quite amazing. I never thought that they could ever come back. I know it's burnt all the paint off, but I'm going to repaint these anyway. So getting this straight is a massive milestone to getting the unicycle back on its wheel again. So the forks are now straight, they're primed, and now I'm at a point where I've got to put the red back on, which I'm incredibly excited about. So it's now the point of no return. So that's the first coat applied. Another couple of coats, and once it's dried, I can then reassemble the unicycle.
Back inside the barn, David has a strategy to contain elements of the virus and to prevent the damage from spreading.
So I've now cleaned everything, and it's certainly removed years and years of dust. But unfortunately, some of the original paint surface has deteriorated as well. So I've mixed up a powdered filler and a little bit of paint in with it, and that will actually resurface the balls, basically. I'm going to use it to fill in the little cracks, dents, which are all over the place, really. It gives a nice smooth surface to paint on eventually. It's quick drying and it's easily sandable afterwards, so you can get a really nice finish. There's a lot to do here, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit time consuming, I think.
What are these made? These polystyrene?
Yeah, but you can see I'm actually missing a few.
And the way they all fit together, they've got to be exactly right, haven't they?
Yeah.
What a job.
Interesting, though.
Yeah.
That's all nice and smooth now. The next stage is to glue back the balls that fell off. I have found a special two-part plastics glue which uses an activator pen, which are put over both surfaces, and this basically chemically activates the glue once it comes together. I've sourced some other polystyrene balls, so they're actually ready to be glued on, and then that should actually complete it, which is quite scary because then it's a complete virus and we don't know what it's capable of.
Oh, that's cool.
This belongs to somebody who worked in the theatre, mistress of looking after hair and all the rest
I've got
of
a
it.
friend who's a wig mistress.
Really?
Yeah, known as a wiggy.
A wiggy?
Yeah, she works in the theatre.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
And does she have music when she's working away?
I would imagine so, yeah. Keep the vibe going. In fact, we could do with one in here.
We could do, but I normally get told off making a noise.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
With every component given a new lease of life, it's now time for Tim to bring Perry's cycle back together.
I'm just about to reassemble the unicycle. The forks have come out really well. I'm very pleased with the colour. So the grease is there just to help the wheel turn in the forks. And then the first fork blade goes on over the top. Flip it over and then do exactly the same on the other side. So that's the forks now loosely assembled. I can now fit Susie's saddle top. It's the cherry on the top of the unicycle. So that's the last of the bolts. I'm really pleased that it's actually unicycle shape now. It's superb. So all I've got to do now is fit the cranks and the pedals, and I really can't wait to see what Heather thinks of it.
When Perry's unicycle arrived, it was bent, buckled and bruised. A much-loved reminder of happier times, left motionless and unridden.
Tim.
Do you like it?
How did you straighten that out?
A lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
Great job. Where's the rest of the bike?
Oh.
Doesn't get old, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Now Heather's returning with son Isaac, hoping to see the fun and spirit restored to something that's come to symbolise their late husband and father.
Hi there, welcome back.
Hello, Heather.
Lovely to see you again.
It's great to be here.
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Now, when you brought this into the barn, it looked quite sad looking.
Yeah.
Yes. But actually, there's a lot of positive feelings behind this.
Yeah, it was something that just sort of characterised who he was.
His dad all over, always choosing to have fun, no matter what. Live his life. Don't let him hold him back.
Okay, Tim.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. You ready?
Wow. That looks brand new.
And look, it was all ripped there.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, the saddle. Susie helped with that.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well done.
Wow.
Thank you.
You know, since he's gone, I think we're holding on to things that remind us of him more.
Yeah.
You know, we want to make sure we don't forget him. And I think this is, you know, something that really reminds us of him. It's silly, it's fun.
It's difficult.
It's difficult, yeah. But, you know, it's him.
I think there'd be pressure on you now.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
If I got you a helmet, would you actually give this a go?
Yeah.
It's a nice fetching helmet for you there.
Oh, lovely.
Right, if you come in here, put your arm around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Whoa.
There we go.
Oh, my word.
Oh, you're really fast on this, aren't you?
That's it. Go round.
Oh,
There we
so
go.
easy.
Whoa! Good job.
I'm sure it'll ride better once I've practiced a bit more.
I think you've done a great job, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
You really have.
It's been a pleasure.
My dad would be so proud that it's been restored and that it's rideable again.
It's a lovely way to celebrate him, the way he conducted himself, what he tried to overcome, how he tried to be with other people. So it's a lovely thing to have to remember Perry.
Next up, Paul from Barnsley, who has brought a piece of Edwardian gadgetry for Brenton to focus on.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
What have you got there?
It's a Houghton's field camera. It was built somewhere between 1900 and 1914.
Wowzers. So it's not a camera, it's a camera.
It's very much, it's like the old photographs and the Charlie Chaplin movies where they get under a cape.
Why is it in so many pieces?
It's all to do with my elder brother, Ian. Ian was 4 years older.
Yeah.
He got various cameras. We were incredibly close growing up, taking photographs when we were out hiking and climbing.
Did you?
Yeah. Ian was a firefighter and would come in off nights and say, I'll take Paul to school, Mum. But then we got all the climbing gear in the back of the Land Rover, yeah. So
Your parents never knew?
No.
Did you feel like that was your relationship, that you had each other's back all the time?
Yes. He was the perfect big brother.
Oh.
We did everything together. The big brother that everybody would want.
Oh, wow. Were you and your brother into photography?
Yes, it had always been a hankering of mine to own something like this. And I bought it at auction, knowing full well that the shutter wasn't functioning. And Ian could turn his hand to anything. He was very, very confident at being able to fix it. And then one day, he turned up with it and said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. He was disappointed. He felt guilty because it was a promise and something he said he'd do. But, you know, unfortunately, a relatively short time later, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's with Alzheimer's.
Oh, goodness.
And, of course, Ian just got worse and worse, and we lost him at the end of August in 2019. We had the greatest respect for each other.
Yeah.
To get it working for Ian's legacy.
Yeah.
Would be fantastic. It really would. And there's no pressure, Brendan.
So, what is actually wrong with the camera?
The big thing, of course, is the shutter. The shutter.
Yeah. OK. Do you think all the parts are here?
I would love to say yes, Brent, but I have no idea, in all honesty.
OK.
Thank you so much for bringing this in. It's absolutely fascinating.
Thank you.
Yes, and I will do my best to get it working for you.
Thank you very, very much.
OK.
We'll be in touch when it's ready. Have you seen a camera like this in so many bits before?
I've had them in so many bits when I've taken them apart, but this is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
This camera that Paul's brought in is my sort of thing. I do love a wood and brass camera. These cameras work like any camera. The light comes through the lens and focuses onto a photographic light-sensitive paper at the back. The light is allowed onto that film for a period of time to expose it correctly. That film is then developed and you've got a picture. And the bit that really worries me is the shutter. I need to spend some time looking at this and seeing if I can get it working again, because without it, the camera won't work. On the back of the camera, there is meant to be a piece of frosted glass. So I need to make a new ground glass screen for it. But the first thing I'm going to do, though, is to check the bellows to see if they're light tight. So this involves stretching the bellows out as far as they'll go. One tiny little hole in this, the light will get in and ruin the picture. So I have to be meticulous, making sure that they don't leak any light. That appears these bellows are light tight, which is really, really good because they're over 100 years old. So these get to stay and we can use them again.
Mark has got the wheels turning on the cassette player. Now he needs to ensure it can deliver the sound of the 80s.
The next issue I need to address here is to demagnetise the actual head itself. This tape has effectively metal in it. That metal, as it goes across the head, eventually will magnetise. So when you're playing it, you'll hear background noise, a bit mushy, loss of the high frequency sounds. It can have all these weird and wonderful effects. The fact that Melanie used these tapes so much and enjoyed the music from them, undoubtedly the head will now be magnetised and therefore needs to be cleaned. To do that, I have this electromagnet, and we call it a degausser. In essence, a magnetic field is like two poles, a north and a south, and they create lines of flux. This disrupts that flux, breaks them randomly. I place it against the head here, turn it on, and then I just move it slowly away, like that, as I diminish the level of magnetic field, turn that off, and now the head should now be demagnetized. It's as simple as that.
Outside, David has a plan to ensure the model virus can stand the test of time.
Keith mentioned that he stands this on a tabletop. Problem is, these polystyrene balls are really soft. I've decided I'm going to make some wooden balls on the lathe. These will be nice solid feet that the virus can actually sit on and it won't do any damage. I've got a piece of beech dowel, a nice solid hard wood, and this is going to be perfect for turning the balls. So I'm using a wood turning lathe. I do use these a little bit in my normal work in organ building. So that's the right diameter, so I can actually start to shape them now. I must admit, I really enjoy using the lathe, and seeing the wood taking shape, it's quite a satisfying thing to be doing. You've still got to be careful of getting the shape right. It wants to be a perfect sphere. A little technique that I use is I don't actually look at where the tool is cutting the wood. I look at the opposite side, because that gives me a clear indication of the shape that I'm cutting. Whereas immediately where the tool is, the wood is flying off and getting in the way, and you can't clearly see what you're doing. Great, does actually match in size-wise with the originals. So I've cut that off, and then I've got 2 more to make, and then I can actually paint them, fit them onto the legs.
Having made sure the bellows are light-tight, Brendan has shifted his sights to the vintage camera's missing screen.
Okay. I've just measured a piece of glass to make the ground glass screen that's going to go into the back of this camera, and it enables you to see the picture that the lens is projecting. If the glass was clear, the picture would just go straight through it. This is a greasy paste that has a very fine grit in it. So I now need to grind this piece of glass so it has a frosted finish. So I've got an engineer's block, which is made of steel. When I put the block on the paste and start to move it around on the glass, it will scratch the glass, and hopefully the whole thing will become frosted. There's no shortcuts doing this, just lots and lots of effort, but it'll be worth it in the end. So what sort of photography did you do then?
Planetary, principally. Jupiter and its 4 bright moons, Saturn, Mercury, Venus.
Wow, excellent.
I'll show you some.
Okay. This shutter works by being between 2 rollers. When you're ready to take your picture, you press the button, that slides across very quickly and closes again, letting a certain amount of light to the film. And that's why this shutter is so important. This shutter blind is made of a material that is coated in a light-proof paint. This paint has broken down over the years and cracked. So I'm going to scrape all this old paint off and recoat it with the rubberized paint. It would be great to keep this shutter blind. It's over 100 years old, and it's always better to keep something original if you can. The rubberized paint that I put on the material of the shutter blind has made it light-proof, and it still remains really flexible. Now I've got the difficult job of making head or tail of all these pieces and putting the shutter back together. So Ian has put all of the parts in bags, and he's named what they are. This is the shutter speed setting knob, so this must be the correct bag. Now that spring is attached, I've got to glue the shutter onto this axle. Once I've got the shutter reassembled, I can test it and see if it works.
It's the moment of truth for Mark's repair of the 80s boombox.
I've just literally finished cleaning and polishing the guides where the tape runs through to make sure they're absolutely spotless. Everything's clean. It's now time to place a tape in and take us back to the 80s.
That takes me back.
Sounds good.
It does. It sounds really nice. I'm really pleased with that. I'd like to think that Florence will play this just like her mum used to and enjoy those fantastic sounds of the past again.
This retro cassette player, owned by wig mistress Mel, had developed a habit of chewing tapes rather than playing them. Hoping to honour Mel's West End legacy and keep her memory alive, daughter Florence, husband Adrian and close friend Alex have all returned, eager to hear her signature tunes once again.
Hi.
So how have you been keeping?
Good, yeah.
A lot of excitement. It's going to be a big moment to be able to listen to some music on it.
You keep looking at it. Yeah. Should we have a look what's underneath?
Please.
Yes, please.
Goodness.
She's in the room with us. It's good.
I'm blown away. There it is.
That is amazing.
That is a sweet dream.
That is so cool.
Well, what do you think?
Fantastic.
That is amazing. Really good.
It's a physical manifestation of who she was, what she was. This is a celebration of exactly what she brought to the party.
That's a very fond memory for me of going up to the wig department for a cup of tea and a gossip.
Yeah.
And blasting the music out. And I'm very grateful for those times. Even more grateful to see it working again now.
Her memory is alive and well.
Florence, what's going to be the plan?
I have cleared a space on my shelf in my lounge and I'm planning to play my mum's cassette tapes and just blast music as much as I can and just enjoy it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, exactly.
You take it safely
Yes.
home, enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And sorry to any of the neighbours who will be listening.
Bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.
That sounded great, Mark.
Thank you. Nice machine.
Really nice.
It's a really big moment to actually be able to have this in my hands working, and it'll just be really nice to imagine her singing to those songs, the memories that I remember from when I was younger.
I don't really want to do that, but I have to. It's what I can do.
For Brenton, the brass plate camera has thrown up a new complication.
I was just practicing with the shutter and trying to get the shutter speed correct, and the spring is now broken. I've looked through my collection of little camera bits, and I'm clean out of springs, unfortunately. So I've got to come up with a way of making a new one out of brass. I put the original broken spring on a piece of brass that's the same thickness and sprayed some black paint on it. That left a silhouette of the shape of the brass, which I can now cut around and hopefully recreate that spring. Because this is very fine work, I'm going to put on my magnifying glasses. I'm going to use my jewellery piercing saw. These saws are really accurate as long as you can keep to the line. The spring that I made, which helps the shutter speed mechanism to work, is fitted. And it appears to work correctly. So now I need to reassemble the camera. The shutter is on, the lens is on, and the camera is now ready to test.
As David ensures the model virus has a firm footing, the restoration is almost complete.
So the wooden balls all turned. I've put a coat of paint on them to match them in. I don't think they're too distinguishable from the originals, but they will give a nice solid foot for the virus to actually stand on. I've drilled the balls to a certain depth so that the rod will sit actually on the bottom of the hole. I'm pleased with that. So I've just got 2 more balls to put on, and then that can stand proudly in Keith's house as a tribute to Keith's dad and his achievements.
The model adenovirus helped advance our understanding of the common cold and commemorates a scientific breakthrough. But key elements were either missing or damaged. Now Keith has returned, hoping to see this extraordinary piece of family and medical history restored.
Hello, Keith. Welcome back.
How you doing?
Very good, thank you. Very excited to see it. Seeing the sort of space where it was has been a strange presence, sort of not being there.
It's quite a dominant thing in a house, isn't it?
Yes, it's not a small thing you can have on your desktop, is it, really?
Right. Here we go.
That is extraordinary. What a fantastic job you've done. Honestly, that's brilliant. I never thought you'd be able to bring it back to that sort of state.
It's a beautifully made thing.
And it's fantastic that you've managed to match all of the ones that were missing. I mean, I thought that was going to be the bit that was going to be tricky, and even with the sort of the proteins on the end.
Is this how you had it in your mind's eye?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was looking sad, and it's now looking beautiful again. It's lovely to be able to explain what he did and the enormity of it, and that will continue for many years is lovely.
I'll let you pick it up, and I'll get the door for you, and
That's
then
fantastic.
you can take it home.
Brilliant. It's a really lasting legacy of my father's work. He was obviously a groundbreaking scientist, and it's great that his work is still being acknowledged, 60 years on, so that's marvellous.
Brenton's repair of the vintage camera is coming to a close, but first he needs to be sure it can still capture the moment.
Now, this is the big test, to see if this camera takes a picture. So first thing I'm going to do is to focus the camera on the barn. You can actually see the picture projected onto that ground glass screen upside down. So the camera is in focus. You put one of these dark slides, which has got film in it, into the back. You close the shutter. I set the camera off. I can now take this out and go and develop it.
This Edwardian camera embodied a brotherly bond and the dream of recapturing long-lost adventures. But Big Brother Ian's illness left the camera stripped down, shutterless, and out of service. Today, Paul is hoping the camera can help him reconnect with cherished memories of his brother.
Hi, Paul.
Hi.
How have you been?
Very well, thank you. Yes. Full of antics. I don't know what my feelings are. Because it'll be the first time I've seen it in one piece.
Okay.
For me to go back to the places that we used to climb with this is going to be immense. It'll be on my shoulder. And I know he is anyway. Yeah.
Do you feel ready to see it? For the
I
first time in a long time?
absolutely do.
I've thought of nothing else for a long, long time. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to do the honours?
It's a thing of beauty. It's what I dreamt of. It's what I would have wished for.
Yeah.
When Ian and I discussed buying it. Yeah. That is fabulous. And the original bellows, I think. The original bellows? You got the tripod. The tripod's one out of my collection, which I can let you have.
Oh.
Wow. I'm even more full of anticipation to get out there with it. I did have a little go with the camera to see if the shutter worked and it focused and stuff. So I've got a picture which I took with it, which is for you. Oh, and that's from this camera? That's from that camera, yeah. Oh, Brenton, that's amazing. I can't tell you how grateful I am.
So it's all yours now to take away and cherish for forevermore?
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Let the legs spring in. Lovely, well done. I'll get the door. There we go. Excellent. Cheerio.
Well done, Brenton.
I think he liked that.
Yeah, he loved it, didn't he?
Yeah, no, it was really good fun to do.
Good.
I could not be happier, and I know my brother Ian, when I go out there, will be on my shoulder, watching me every inch of the way as I take photographs of me.
If you have a treasured possession that's seen better days and you think the team can help, please get in touch at bbc.co.uk/takepart and join us in the repair shop.